Have you ever looked back at a past relationship and thought, if only I had done things differently, maybe she would have stayed? It's a regret most of us have faced at one point or another. The truth is, the way we present ourselves can play a huge role in how we're perceived, especially when it comes to attraction. There's a saying, you only get one chance to make a first impression. And while it's true, the good news is that there are ways to instantly boost your appeal, both physically and mentally, that will have a lasting impact. In today's video, we'll uncover 5 simple but powerful traits and behaviors that can instantly make a man more attractive, whether you're meeting someone for the first time or trying to enhance your existing relationships. Stick around till the end, because you won't want to miss out on these game-changing tips. Number 1. Confidence. Confidence, it's one of those things that's often said to be the key to attraction, but what does it really mean? I mean, we hear it all the time, be confident, and people will be drawn to you. But how do you actually pull that off? Is it about standing tall, giving a firm handshake, or flashing a smile every time you walk into a room? I'll tell you this, confidence isn't something that's handed to you like a trophy, it's a habit you build, day by day, sometimes minute by minute. I've learned that confidence isn't about pretending to be something you're not. It's about being comfortable in your own skin, embracing who you are, flaws and all. There's this quote from Brené Brown that sticks with me, owning our story can be hard but not nearly as difficult as spending our lives running from it. How true is that? The more we run from ourselves, the more we're just chasing this elusive version of who we think we should be. I remember back in college, I used to be that guy who'd hesitate before speaking up in a group, always wondering if my words would land right. It was exhausting, this constant self-monitoring. But over time, I realized that the real power isn't in always having the perfect thing to say. It's in owning the silence, too. I started learning to be okay with just being there, without trying to fill the space with anything. And, oddly enough, that made me stand out more. People were drawn to my presence, not because I had the right words, but because I was comfortable just being myself. So, how do you build this kind of confidence? Start small. Do things that push you out of your comfort zone regularly. Speak up when you're not sure, take that extra step when your mind tries to talk you out of it. It's in those moments that you'll realize, confidence isn't a trait you're born with. It's something you earn with every uncomfortable decision you make, every time you choose to bet on yourself. And once you do, the world will notice. Number 2, good posture. Good posture, it sounds simple, right? Just stand up straight, shoulders back, head high, and you're good to go. But, here's the thing, it's not just about looking taller or more confident. There's a deeper layer to posture, one that goes beyond physical presence and into something much more psychological. I remember reading somewhere that your body doesn't just reflect your confidence, it can actually shape it. This idea stuck with me, especially after a time when I found myself slouched in all the wrong situations, like when I was about to speak to someone I admired or when I was in a meeting. I didn't even realize I was doing it at first. It was as if my body was telling me, you don't belong here, so let's shrink a little. And it was wild because I could feel that internal dialogue without even saying a word. Then, one day, I watched a TED Talk by Amy Cuddy, the famous power pose advocate. She talked about how holding yourself in an expansive, open posture, think chest out, shoulders back, standing tall, doesn't just affect how others see you, but how you see yourself. It's like your body starts to talk to your mind, telling it, hey, we've got this. I tried it out for myself. I started paying attention to how I stood, before a big meeting, before a date, before even just walking into a crowded room. It was hard at first, a little awkward even. But slowly, I noticed something shift. I began to feel more grounded, more present. My confidence, or at least the perception of it, started to match how I felt inside. The truth is, your posture is a silent communicator. When you stand up straight, you're not just projecting strength and openness to the world, you're telling yourself that you have value, that you belong. I'm not saying you need to walk around like you're auditioning for a role in a superhero movie, but paying attention to those little adjustments in your body language can have a surprisingly powerful impact. So, here's my challenge. Tomorrow, take a minute to check in with how you're holding yourself. Notice how you feel when you adjust your posture. It's the simplest shift, but it might just change how you move through the world. Number 3, a sense of humor. A sense of humor, man, if there's one thing that can break the ice faster than anything, it's laughter. But it's more than just cracking jokes or being the funny guy in the room. Humor has a depth to it, something subtle that can turn an average interaction into something unforgettable. I think back to times when I've been in a room full of people, and someone tells a joke. Not necessarily the stand-up comedian type of humor, but that one random line that catches everyone off guard. And suddenly, the whole energy shifts. You could almost feel the walls come down. It's in those moments I realized, humor isn't just a tool for entertainment, it's a bridge. It connects us, makes us human. There's this quote by Albert Einstein that I always loved: if you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. It's funny because it highlights something deeper about humor. It makes us see the world differently. When you can laugh at life's little absurdities, when you don't take yourself too seriously, you open up a space for others to do the same. And that's magnetic. That kind of lightheartedness is refreshing, and it shows that you're someone who doesn't crumble under pressure, who can see the funny side of even the toughest situations. Now, I'm not saying you have to be a stand-up comedian to be attractive. But there's something incredibly appealing about someone who knows how to make others smile, who can find humor in the little things, or even turn an awkward moment into a shared laugh. It's about not taking life too seriously. And it's about giving others permission to relax and just be in the moment. In the end, humor is one of those intangible things. It can't be forced, and it's definitely not something you can fake. But when you're genuinely able to laugh with others, to lighten the mood and make them feel comfortable, you're showing them that you're confident in who you are, and that, my friend, is incredibly attractive. Number 4, kindness and empathy. Kindness and empathy, two qualities that, when combined, can make you not just attractive, but magnetic. These aren't things that you typically think about in the how to be more attractive checklist, but trust me, they're game changers. They have this quiet, almost invisible power to draw people in without you even realizing it. I'll be honest, there was a time when I thought being tough, having an edge, and not letting anyone get too close was the way to go. It was almost like a defense mechanism. I told myself I didn't need to show vulnerability. But I've learned over the years that it's actually through vulnerability, through kindness and understanding, that we connect with others on a deeper level. It's those little moments when you listen, when you understand someone's pain or joy without judgment, that really leave a lasting impression. I remember a time when I was having a rough patch, feeling overwhelmed by everything, life and work piling up. I wasn't asking for help, but a friend just picked up on my energy. She didn't offer advice or try to fix me, she just sat with me, asked how I was really feeling, and didn't push. It was in that moment that I realized how powerful empathy is. It's not about saying the right thing, it's about showing up and being there. And here's the thing, empathy isn't a weakness. It's a strength. It's a way of seeing the world through someone else's eyes and offering them the space to feel heard. A great book by Dr. Brené Brown, The Gifts of Imperfection, talks about how embracing vulnerability leads to more meaningful connections. Kindness is a reflection of that vulnerability. It's an invitation to others to be their true selves without fear of judgment. In a world that sometimes feels disconnected, showing kindness and empathy is like offering a breath of fresh air. People are drawn to those who make them feel understood, who make them feel safe. It doesn't matter if you're at a party or in a tough conversation, When you show that you genuinely care, when you take the time to understand someone, that's when real connection happens. So, next time you're wondering what makes a man attractive, think about the simple acts of kindness you can offer, the way you listen, the way you support, the way you show empathy. It's one of the most magnetic qualities you can have. Number 5, ambition and drive. Ambition and drive, those are the kind of qualities that don't just make you attractive, they make you stand out. But, let's be real for a second, ambition is a tricky thing. It's not about blindly chasing success for the sake of it. It's not about flashy titles or stacking up money for the sake of showing off. No, ambition is about something much deeper. It's about purpose, about having something that drives you from within. I've been there. I've had those moments where I felt lost, not sure where I was going or what I was doing. But when I realized that ambition isn't about fitting into some pre-made mold, it's about finding what sets your soul on fire, that's when things started to shift for me. I remember when I first started getting serious about my goals, particularly with my YouTube channel. I had this vision, this feeling that I could really make something meaningful happen. But, honestly, there were days I doubted myself. There were days I was tempted to just give up. But something deep inside me, that ambition, kept pushing me forward. It was that fire, that drive, that kept me going through the grind. I've come to believe that when you're genuinely driven by a purpose that you believe in, people can feel it. There's this energy that radiates from you when you're aligned with your ambitions. It's not about talking about what you want to do, it's about showing up, day in and day out, and making it happen. You know what they say, actions speak louder than words. It's so true. In fact, there's a quote from Aristotle that resonates with me, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. And that's the beauty of ambition, it's constantly evolving. It's the hunger to learn, to grow, to be better than yesterday. People are drawn to that. When someone has ambition, they don't just stay stuck in their comfort zone. They strive for more, not just for the sake of success, but because they understand that life is a journey of constant growth. And that's incredibly attractive. It shows that you're not just sitting around waiting for things to happen, you're out there making them happen. Ambition is the spark, but drive is the fuel that keeps it burning. Without both, you're just standing still. Thanks for tuning into today's video on the traits that can instantly boost a man's attractiveness. Remember, confidence, kindness, and self-care go a long way in making lasting impressions. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more empowering content. Keep investing in yourself and always strive to be the best version of you. Take care of your heart, and we'll catch you in the next video.